The boy was called Hansel. The girl was called Gretel. Hence the title, Hansel and Gretel. The father cut wood. He was a woodcutter. Excuse me, carpenter, joiner, cabinet maker. Wood for the fire, wood for the oven, wood to repair the roof every time it shuddered. Hard to cut wood when there aren't any trees, when there are only splinters and stumps, when the wood's on its knees. And the mother made bread. She was a bread maker. Beg pardon, caterer, pastry chef, master baker. Bread for breakfast, bread for supper, bread without jam, bread without butter. Hard to bake bread without yeast or flour, when there's only cinders and stubble, when the shelves are bare and the shutters are down. So the boy was called cold, the girl was called hungry, right down to the bone, from Monday to Sunday. See, where there was once a village, there was mainly rubble, and where there was fun, there was largely trouble, and where there were kites, there were mostly rags, and where there was bunting, there were chiefly flags. This flag 1 week, the next week another. Hansel and Gretel at night in their bedroom, a bunk bed, he had the upper. No, she had the top. No, he had the top. No, she had the top. No, he had the top. No, she had the top. Ah, they loved each other, like sister and brother. At night they listen to the sky, listen to the ears, put an ear to the keyhole or a cup to the wall. Listen to the father, listen to the mother. And you know what it's like when you're eavesdropping, when you shouldn't, when you're ear-winging, when you mustn't. Like sun under water, like an old radio, all whisper and rumor. This from the father.
My heart bleeds for those kids. We can feed or clothe them, can treat or school them, can give them a future. We need to hide them where bombs can find them.
And this from the mother.
They're not safe in this house. I keep dreaming a dream. If they lay here, they die here. We need to lead them away and leave them if we really love them.
Gretel finally cries herself to sleep in Hansel's arms. Except Hansel's arms are somewhere else. In the sleeve of his coat, his feet in his boots, his legs on the move. His hands like pink tarantula crawling down tracks and paths, going from place to place, gleaning pebbles that wick or shine, pocketing stones till his pockets are full. It was a full day's hike. It was a 2-day trek. It was a 3-day slog. It was a 4-day trudge. It was a 5-day yump. Let's make a camp, build a fire. And the mother says,
Why can't we stay? Make a new house under these things' limbs, under these strong boughs.
And the father says,
They're safe here. We need to go back to our patch of earth to defend what's ours.
And the mother says,
The woodcutter's sons will be safe in the wood among timber and trunks.
And the father says,
The baker's girl should be at ease in the world.
So under the green umbrella of hornbeam and willow, they wave their silent goodbye, tread softly away.
I miss our room.
I miss her floor.
I miss my bed.
I miss my bunk.
I sleep on top.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I'm cold.
I'm hungry.
Hansel punches the air.
There's nothing but drivel and sheet, but a loaf of bread's not a torch. A road made of bits of bread.
Yes, a road, and a road we can hit. Follow me.
Which was great, which was fine, and they tracked the trail for a couple miles. The forest, a garden of Eden by day, full of earthly delights. It's a horror film after dark and a ghost train at night. Animal noises like swear words and threats, pond like eyes, march gas like strangers' breath, tree like kidnappers, pigeon like spies, twigs like fingers, dew like saliva, vines like snares, brambles like barbed wire, cobwebs like hair. Sugar? They scented it on the breeze a mile or so back, tasted it in the air, thought they were going mad. Sugar? They'd followed the whiff like a long thread, reeling them in, hooking them forward ahead. Sugar! He thought it was a pound of bubbling caramel. She thought it was burnt fudge or marzipan. Sugar! Even the emperor or president or shah or sheriff or whatever his name was that we could afford no more than a single granule per day, which he placed on his tongue at dusk, and the sight of the sun going down and the sudden sweetness melting into his mind made him weep every time. I'm exaggerating, but the point is this. Hansel and Gretel were kids, and kids go loopy for sugar. And here was an actual theme park of the stuff, and an interactive theme park at that.
This is a dream.
A mirage.
We're tired.
We must be asleep.
They followed the trail of small white balls, not pebbles this time, but hundreds of shiny mints, and arrived at a building, amazing, with sugar-glazed windows and licorice-fall pipes, and toffee tiles. Oh, sweetness, sweeter than sweet, the cycle candy doing its work across the tongue and into the gut. Oh, it's good. It's so bloody good.
Children, it's your lucky day. Children, tell me your names.
I'm Hansel.
You're most helpful.
I'm Gretel.
I'm most grateful. You're welcome. You're both welcome. She can help me. Hand and foot, slave her till she's skinny. And he can look and lounge, put some flesh on his bones. Help yourself to the yard and garden. Then you can wallow in marshmallow pillows, dreaming your sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, get it? But for candy floss, read spider's web, and for chewing gum, read superglue. Read bird lime, fly pepper, moth to a flame, drool over sugar it turns to a thick, slow, syrupy goo. Hence, Hansel and Gretel, stuck to the house by their paws, stuck by their tongues to a door. 4 weeks going by, 4 weeks of this.
Empty crab shell for you, girl. Profiteroles for the boy. Empty crab for you, girl. Tiramisu for the boy. Empty crab shell for you, girl. Pecan pie for the boy.
I feel sick.
I'm not done yet.
The boy in the cage, that is, like a sad budgerigar. The girl going nowhere fast, like a mouse on a hamster wheel.
Monster.
Witch.
Bastard.
Bitch.
I heard that.
Her heels were good, but not her sight, practically blind. Every few days she comes to the cage.
Stick your finger out, son. Let's see if you made the weight.
But out through the bars comes the chicken bones.
Well, fuck my old boots. Is still peep clean thin as a chicken bone.
She will cut her losses, take the heat.
Build a fire, girl, and rig up the biggest cooking pot.
But no smoke without fire, thinks Gretel. Why the kindling and why the cauldron? For it she hears meat, she hears it. Better act fast, or it's Hansel porridge, Hansel hash, Hansel potage, Hansel goulash, Hansel and mash.
Is the water ready, you silly goose?
But Gretel plays dumb.
I'll show you, but just this once.
And Gretel, let's not forget, was a cook's daughter at heart, and she knew about sugar and heat. So in went the drumstick lilies and white mice, the rhubarb and custards and traffic lights, the pear drops and wine gums and milk teeth, the blue dolphins and flumps, the jelly babies, for ironic effect. And out went the fire till the whole sugary globule has cooled and set. Get your border and scarper, but not before. A squint to the blinds, a shufty, a gope, just to see what it's like. Kick down the door and step inside.
It's wrong to steal, but this sliver spoon reminds me of home. And I won't say not a chocolate coin.
It's wrong to sieve, but I love this knife in its leather sleeve, and I had myself a chocolate coin.
They emerged, resolved, declared, appeared, arrived, like new morning on the far side. But the road was picked out, not pebbles or crumbs this time, but the shock shells of bullets and bombs and torn off buttons and broken medals and lost buckles and buckle metal and twisted cars and ruptured girders and crazed ceramics and littered shrapnel and fractured armor and shattered glass and scattered parts that led to a pile of stone that was once a home and a husk of a man sitting there on his own, the shadow of a dad, but no mum.
She was knelt in prayer by your empty bunks whenever delivered a thunderbolt.
There's this place, it's a full day hike,
A 2-day trek,
a 3-day slog,
a 4-day trudge.
a 5-day yomp.
It's a horror film after dark, and a ghost train after night.
Animal noises like swear words and treats,
Pond like highs,
marsh gas like strangers' breaths,
trees like a kidnapper's,
pigeon like spies,
twigs like finger,
dew like saliva,
vines like snails,
brambles like barbed wire,
cobwebs like hair. But a garden by day,
where the hawk stands thick and deep and tall,
where the fig hang sweet and ripe and low,
where lumber will roll,
and seeds will shoot.
rain will be rain, not burst of flame,
And if all else fails, there's this chocolate house.
this gingerbread hall. Come.
Come!
And they each picked up a small white stone as a souvenir and moved on.